All right, we're on Shiruba Springs, hole 3, par 5. This is going to be a rough par 5. We're going to have to work out something on this par 5. Otherwise, this is one of those. There's very few holes in Golf Clash that are not eagle holes. You know, where we're eagle trying to set ourselves up for Albie. There's a few par 5s that I can think of in the game that are birdie holes, and we're trying to go for eagle. And this is going to be one of those holes that's going to be in that group. And it's not going to really matter whether you have upper developed or lower developed clubs. There's some monster shots here. So what I've been working on is trying to do a max overpower hook shot to try and get myself over into this part of the fairway over here. And on this particular one, I do get over into that area a little long. But we'll see how my opponent does with a white ball so we can get a really good look at what it would be with a lower power ball. So getting up into that fairway area right there nicely. And there's potentially a little bit still on the table that they could have got if they had a bigger power ball, but not much. Going at it from that direction right there, trying to get your ball to fall down into this area at the end of the run is not, I mean, you're pretty much looking at being somewhere up in this area right here, kind of where I'm aiming as your best opportunity. So what I'm doing here, let me wait until I get it in the right spot. So what I've done here is I've put my yellow ring fully extended. I've put the edge of my yellow ring where the yellow and the orange go, right on the transition between the fairway and the rough. What I really want it to be is, I think what it needs to be is probably about half of the yellow ring needs to be on the transition between the rough and the fairway to set myself up with a landing spot that I can go back to over and over again. And trying to do the max overpower hook. And I caught all of it. And that light pole right there is close. Now you can see where I landed right there and how far it bled out. What I'm not sure of is the next time I catch this, I'm going to put maybe 1.5 less topspin on it. I put max topspin. I'm going to put a little bit less topspin on it and see if I can catch that fairway area out there. Now, I went back and tried this hole based off of where I landed right here. I went back and watched this video, and then the next time I got on this hole, I tried a 4 power ball to see if maybe I could hit that same exact shot and instead of ending up in the rough, actually end up in this fairway. But the 4 power ball, because of the extra distance that's on there, it gives you a different original landing spot as far as like where you're setting up your max overpower hook. And I got it wrong and ended up getting caught up in the sand behind me. But I do think that it's possible either to get out to this fairway, like with a 5 power ball, where we actually blow over that sand, blow through this fairway, blow through the rough that I'm in. Let's get back to that spot. Let it catch back up there. So let's watch this where it lands right. So that landing spot's good. That landing spot right there. So I have a little bit of distance here. You can see how far it is from the rough to the sand. So there is enough distance here that if I took off a little bit of topspin, which would put me more down towards what a level 8 extra mile has, doing max topspin, where I could either clip this rough and then, because I don't think that there's enough, if I took off a little to try and get the full bounce over where I bounce out here into the fairway, I'm still going to bleed off in the rough on the other side. So taking off enough so that when I make that shot, I come through here and clip this rough and then bleed out into this fairway, I think we're on in 2. We'll definitely still need a big dog to get up there, or bringing an even bigger power ball, bringing a 4 or a 5 power ball. And I'm probably going to work the shot out with a 5 power ball to see if we can go completely through that rough and blow into this fairway. But I do think that we have an opportunity here with that max horsepower hook shot to get up and down in two, or get up on the green in two, make your eagle putt. I don't see Albie as being a big if we could get over to this fairway right here and have that shot coming in, then we would actually have a legitimate Albie shot. But this hole right here, you need to get an eagle and jump up and down, because I see a ton of people not getting eagles on this week. This is definitely going to be a hole that's going to cause people some serious round killing. So and you can see from where I'm at down there with the Nirvana, if I had a headwind, I might be able to bleed over to the other side from where I'm at in the rough right there and then chip it up. A tailwind. But with that 5-5 headwind, it's not going to be conducive. You don't want to have to do max overpower shots with your rate or with your Nirvana. I chipped it back up into the fairway. That's where I'd really like to have ended up, and to see whether or not all the effort would be worth it to get up into that spot. Opponent's coming at it with a razor. See if they can get up and down. This hole right here, I kind of like it. I wish Playdemic would make more holes like this, where these holes right here. Normally, like I said, we're going for Albie, but here our goal going in needs to be eagle. And having a big dog in your bag when you come on this hole would definitely be beneficial, because right there from that area, I could make it over to the green side with a big dog. And there's a couple ways you could go at it. I could, if I had enough topspin, and with a big dog I would, you could go from this lower fairway and use your topspin to bridge the gap over that rough. Trying to do the max curl shot, not overpower curl or hook, just the max curl, just to get me up there, to get me into a nice little chipping range. I'm amazed at how many people are in T5 practicing these holes right now, and how few people want to replay. If you've been watching all of the other videos for Shiruba Springs, I'm on a soapbox about it. Our community cracks me up. Now, if you've got a lower developed account, I've got a lower developed account, my 99 account. A couple of my teammates have asked me to shoot some videos on these holes with that account to help out people that've got lower developed clubs. With that account, I think I have like 280,000 coins, and at 20,000 a match. I've got to be a little bit serious when I'm out there, because coins are an issue. But I think for the mass majority of players, especially players that are playing against my 77 account, these people have been playing for a long time. Coins are not not an issue. Getting it in the cup, in the hole. So while that was a birdie, the reason I'm posting this video is, while that was a birdie, I think that that's the track that we need to be looking at as far as trying to set ourselves up for eagle, because that hole right there has this is a hole that we could definitely get a leg up on our competition. So that shot right there, the transitional line between the rough and the fairway, I was on my yellow ring, orange ring, right there at that transitional line, doing a max overpower hook shot. Where I came in was right in here, was easily able to get over the sand, and then bled out into this rough area. So I guess my trajectory was like this. What I'm thinking is that I don't have enough. If I take some topspin off of that shot to try and keep myself from rolling into this, I think what's going to happen is that I'm going to end up in this sand. So instead of trying to take off enough topspin to clear this rough over here. I want to have just enough that I do a second bounce rough bump off of this rough to bleed me out into this area. And from that area with a big dog or even a sniper, and I think the big dog would have been a lot easier to do right there than the sniper. The big dog could have got me on the green. The sniper would be a little bit more problematic because with the big dog, you could come at it from two different directions. You could come at it, you could go from here to here and bridge this gap with your top spin, or you could do the shot that I did and try and bring it around this way. So I came out with a power 4 ball and tried this with a bigger ball, and it changes where you're at out here. It moves you forward because you got your red lines gets pushed forward. So your landing area here is different. And so I'm going to continue to work this shot with the power 3 ball to see if I can get it done with a Titan. Because if we can get it done with a Titan and we don't need to bring out a bigger ball, hey, let's not bring out the bigger ball. But I definitely want to try and work to get into this area. The thing I saw there watching the video though is that if we did work out the trajectory with a bigger ball, a power 4 or a power 5, from where I ended up here, it's possible that we could get over to this fairway. And now we actually have changed this hole from a let's try and get eagle to, hey, we got a nice shot here for Albie. So I'm going to work on this max overpower hook shot all week. That's the only shot that if we're not doing a max overpower hook shot, then all we're doing is a layup. So, and I'm not really interested in just doing a layup on that hole. All right, that was hole number, what was that? That was hole number 3, par 5 of Shiruba Springs. Thanks for watching. Maybe.